Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fortunate Creations. I'm Kim, and this is a channel where we talk about everything to do with crafting. So, from amigurumi to weaving, anything in between. If you like crafting and being creative and amazing people, stick around. You're going to love it here. I love it here. I'm so lucky to have you guys. You share. Yay! Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, I've been running all day. Did you guys see my video of my garden? I put it on Facebook. I didn't get it to YouTube yet. It came out really good, but I had to stop before it got too hot. So coming out really good. Plus I ran out of rocks. Who would have thought? So I'm stressing a little bit, you guys, over the camera angle, but we'll figure it out. Okay. So, all right. So we decided that tonight will be a knit along. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. I'm really bummed because when I was getting the rocks, I said to myself, get more than you think you need because you're going to need more than you think. And I didn't because I was hot and tired. That's all right. Gives me something to do this weekend. Hello, Ruth. Hi, everybody. All right. So, in honor of Fritzy, we are doing balloon dogs. So, now, mine are a little floppy. You can stuff them tighter. Thank you, Karen. Or you can stitch them tighter to make them stand up. It's totally up to you. I figured I'm going to give one of these to my grandson to use kind of like a ragdoll snuggly thing when he's older. So I want it to be a little floppy. But as you can see, when you stitch them together, you still want them to look like a tied balloon. Okay. So I even did the little crochet here at the end to look like the tail, and I did a little crochet here at the beginning to look like the nose. And here we go. So there it is. Now, you guys, this was really fun. Hi, Barb. How are you? This was really fun because I challenged myself to figure it out myself. I tried to go on YouTube and see a couple of ways people were doing it, and I didn't want to do it that way. So I legit sat down at my miniature Addi machine and I said, let's figure this out. And I did. So what are you going to need for tonight? You're going to need some yarn. You're going to need your small Addi machine, which is right here, or any kind of knitting machine. If you want, you can also knit this by hand. Just make tubes. That's all it is to it. It's just quicker this way because that's what this machine does, right? So you're going to need a needle and some scissors. Now, in addition to the yarn you're going to make the balloon with, you're going to need stuffing. Now, when I was first figuring out this pattern, I'm not sure. I'm using a 4. Oh, nice. I'm using a 4. These, I believe, are a 3. So I'm going to test it with a 4. I don't know that the Addi really likes a 5, but yeah. So yeah. All right. So for the stuffing, when I first did a red one, I was doing all the prototypes, right? I didn't like the way the stuffing showed. So I could have used Margaret's idea of using the stockings, but I didn't have any and I forgot to get some. So instead, I decided to stuff it with the same color yarn I'm using. So that way, if it shows through, you don't really realize it, right? So that's what I did with these. So I had scrap yarn that I found at Goodwill, and I made these, and then what yarn I didn't use to make them, I used to stuff them. So it's your choice. You're going to need stuffing however you want to do it. All right, so let me introduce you. What I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to put it down on this here so you can see me doing my little machine. That's the only way I could figure the angle would really work. You're probably going to see my knees, and I apologize because I have to straddle the machine to work it. It's a whole thing. I don't have a studio, so so we'll figure it out. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get this situated here on this. I've been practicing all afternoon trying to get it right. Okay. Let's see, how are we doing here? All right. You guys, I have that song stuck in my head, that song Fancy Like Applebee's. I can't get it out of my head, and I'm singing it all day long. It's driving crazy. But anyway, all right. So here we go. Here is the 22 needle Addi machine. I love this little machine. I play with it often. You can see I customized a little table for it. So it was a 3-shelf little table. I turned the top shelf upside down, and I literally, if you can see in there, I took a pair of scissors, and I cut the hole to match the Addi. So now it'll go all the way down to the second shelf. If you want, cut it the next shelf, however you want to do it. So that's how I customized it. And again, it's fun to see what you can make and create when you need it, right? So here's the little Addi machine. Now you're going to notice I have mine marked. I have mine marked differently than most people because I had to take this off and change a needle, and I put it on shifted, and I wasn't going to take it back off again. So I just note to myself where this is where all of my rows are going to start. Okay. What do I love about the Addi that my other machine didn't have? This counter. This is absolutely key because I could never remember what row I was on. So this is absolute key. The only thing I have to do now is remember to reset the counter. All right. So to start our little animal, you're going to make sure you have it at 0. And we're going to do 10 sections of 20 rows. Okay. Yeah, the counter is amazing. So we need 10 sections of 20 rows. So you're going to start like you start with all of them. Okay. You drop whatever colors you use. Okay. You're going to drop this between, and for every other, let me see if I can do this like this. For every other needle, you're going to go in front, behind, in front, behind. This is how you cast on for every project. You're going to notice I do not use scrap yarn or waste yarn. I don't do a row of it. I never do a row of it for any of my projects. I just, I use all the yarn that I'm going to use for a project and no scrap yarn. I don't know why. It just seems to work better for me. So you can see right here, it counts the cast on row as number 1. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to turn it towards me a little bit. Now my machine turns a little hard until it goes to the next row, and then it gets really easy. So you can see the counter here. We're on row 2. I'm going to keep going till I get to row 20. And it's kind of quick because, you know, there's only 22 needles. So try to keep the tension consistent. So I like to pull out a bunch of the yarn so that I'm not pulling out of the skein as I'm trying to turn. So we're on row 4, 5, 6, and you can hear it click each time. 7, 8, 9. We're halfway there at 10. And there goes the camera, you guys. How was that? Hold up. Here we come. There it is. Now what's that? Good times. This is a high class video. Sorry about that, guys. Let me find it. There it is. Okay. So we're halfway there. And I'm going to keep going. Ignore my mess over there. That's stuff I just have stored that I got to put away. So, all right, here we go. Now keep an eye on your machine. If it starts to tug a little bit, that means you're skipping a few rows. That could mean that your machine doesn't like, hi, sugar. It could be that your machine doesn't like that thickness of the thread. So I'm going to go ahead and try 20 with this one. 14, 15, 16. Da, 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 da. It goes so fast, you got to keep pulling it out. Hi, Marianne. Okay, 17, 18, 19. Now, I'm a little concerned about this one because it seems to be pulling. But that's all right. I'm going to show you with this, and then I might just switch and do a different yarn. So here's the difference. When most people use their Addi, they're going to do a row of scrap yarn here. I don't. I cut enough here so that I can just use my needle, and I scoop it off a couple at a time so that I don't need an extra row. I just prefer it that way. I know some of you really like the waste yarn, but I don't know, for some reason it throws off my count, it throws off something, so I just don't do it. So as long as you're very careful and you scoop the yarn off each needle, you're not going to drop a stitch. But if you want to go ahead and use your waste yarn, by all means, however you like to get this off of your machine, you go right ahead. Now I'm starting to think that this machine does not like the 4. You guys noticing it's kind of fighting me a little bit? So here we go. Pop that off of there. Sorry, my hands are in the way, guys. But this yarn is giving me fits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap this right off, and I'm going to quickly do another one. But you guys can keep going. So what you're going to do is you're going to need 10 sections of 20 rows. Okay. It sounds like a lot, but I timed myself this morning, and it literally takes under 2 minutes to make each one. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing these. Obviously, this yarn is not going to work. So I'm going to pop in and grab the red yarn that I used earlier, and we'll just use that. Super simple. So let me start by saying perhaps we should use a 3. All right, starting back over here. All right, so everybody with me so far as how many sections you need, because if you look at the balloon animal, you'll see that each section is its own piece. Okay, so you need one section for the ears, you need one section for the legs, you need one, so it's just, that's how it's got to go. So let's try casting on with this one and see if, that's the one thing with these machines, they either love the yarn or they're going to eat it. So you got to be really careful what yarn you choose for what projects. All right, 3. And I had a stopwatch going, and I had my Alexa timing me on how long it took each section, because I wanted to make sure I could do this in under an hour, or, you know, under an hour and a half. So this seems to be working a bit better, so I'll just make another red one. That's fine. I don't need a purple one. I'd like a purple one, but I don't need it. So what are you doing? There we go. Yeah, so again, with the Addi machines, I love them very much, but they are picky sometimes. I mean, there's some yarns that I thought it would eat, and it didn't. It just zoomed right through it. All right. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to make 10 of these sections. Okay. Again, it's fighting me on this yarn. Holy moly. All right. I guess I used my best yarn when I was practicing. I should have. That's all right. It works for me. I will figure it out. Well, you guys keep going, keep getting your sections, and then I'll just be able to show you each section as you get them. How's that sound? You never know till you keep trying, right? And besides, it's you guys. I know you guys. You're very patient with me, and I do appreciate it, as always. So, I know that this yarn works because I have used it all day long. All right, so how's everybody doing? You should be noticing that it should take you about 2 minutes. Haha, Karen, I love you. I absolutely just love you. I'm trying to find a 3 so that this won't mess with me. I'm trying to find it in my third time's a charm, Karen. No, that's a 4. All right, well, I know that this one works. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same yellow that I used before. Because, like you said, the third time is the charm. And for those of you rewatching, like watching later on a recorded, please fast forward through this. It'll be quite painful, and I apologize. All right. Welcome, Kathy. Thank you so much for coming. So yeah, these machines are great. And I have been trying to broaden my horizons as far as what I can make with them. Because I don't want to just make the scarf or just make, you know, I want to be able to make lots of other things. And that's why I'm trying the balloon animal. There we go. Okay, so I have determined that my small Addi machine likes the smaller yarn. There we go. So I did have, on my bigger machine, I did have one of the needles break. But in the machine's defense, I am not gentle with these at all. So, oh, nice. Well, cool. Hang out with us and watch this process here. It's kind of fun. So, Margaret, do you use the waste yarn or do you scoop it off like I showed? I can twirl and talk at the same time. Sorry you're seeing my knee. I apologize, but I have to hold the table. Curious to see if you guys use the waste yarn or if you can do it the way I'm showing. Do it a little faster. Woohoo! Now we're cooking. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay, good. All right, 19, third time's the charm. Here we go. Okay. Holy moly. So then I just go ahead, make sure you leave enough tail, okay? You're going to use these tails to sew them together later and tie them together later. So don't cut yourself short on these tails. Okay. So again, we're at 20 and I'm just going to scoop them off. All right, everybody, count off. How many you have made so far? I should have about 3 or 4 of them done by now, but I've been fighting with yarn, so. There we go. Life is good when you have the right yarn. If I'm doing like the fingerless gloves or something like that, I will do the scrap yarn. But I normally, it throws me off too much. I don't like it. All right, so who's watching and who's actually doing? I just want to know who I need to keep up with so that I don't go too fast or too slow. Well, right now I'm probably behind you guys, so. This actually got me thinking maybe I want to try real balloon animals for my nephews at camp. There They just never know what Aunt Kempen's going to come up with. All right, so here's this one coming off perfectly. And this is what they're all going to look like. Oh, okay. All right, so here's, I'm going to make 10 of these. All right. So what I'll do for the sake, if there's not anybody actually working along with me, I'm going to go ahead. I'll just make a few of these and give you the idea of how we're going to do it. And then I will switch to the ones that I've already done and show you again. All right. So now we're going to reset the counter. Here's the first. Reset it to 0. I'll do one more. Again, give yourself enough of the tail. And then cast on just like you would every other one. Okay. Catch the needle that you dropped. There we go. And in we go. Again, it's a little tougher, and I don't know why it does this. It's the first row on every one. And then once it clicks over, then it goes. Very odd. But it is what it is, and it's fine. This little one was about, I want to say $35 maybe, I believe. But, you know, you don't need to get the name. You don't need to get the Addi name. I heard that Centros are really good. And if you want, you know, you're not. Okay. All right. I mean, there's a couple differences, but from what I've heard, the Addi needles are a bit stronger. But you know what? And there's 20. If you're just buying one to see if you'll like it and see if you use it, I would say go ahead and start with a cheaper version. That's what I did. I bought, I think it was like a Prism or a Prim or something like that. And I got myself comfortable with using that machine before I invested in the Addi. So again, to take it off. Now remember, if you're doing it this way, let me get back in the camera here. If you're doing it this way, be careful not to pull up because you'll pop them off. So if you have to pull the yarn, like watch this, okay? See, I have 2 of them here that are off. So I want to go ahead and pull the yarn. I'm going to hold this one down so that it won't pop off. Just little hints because I've learned the hard way. Pretty much in everything, I've learned the hard way. All right. So we'll finish this one. And once it gets a little looser, you can go ahead and scoop off a few at a time. And it's not going to bother a thing. So what I'll do for tonight, instead of creating a whole one while you guys wait, I'm going to go ahead and show you the logistics of it, and then I will do a full tutorial. How does that sound? Okay, so we're going to go ahead, 20 rows, and you pull each one nice and tight. You can go ahead and cinch up one end if you want, and just leave the other end for stuffing, okay? And then again, I will take this other one, cinch it up nice and tight. And there you go. So you guys want to hear it. So for dinner tonight, this is what happens when you're the only one eating dinner and it's too hot to care. I went in the cabinet, I grabbed some actual spaghetti, and then I had a veggie platter in the fridge. So I'm boiling up the spaghetti. I threw in broccoli with it. I threw in tomatoes with it. I strained it and I put salad dressing over it. And there was my, there was my dinner. You know, I had vegetables, whatever. All right. So, right. Yeah, I love chicken and dumplings too. All right, so here we go. I'm going to make one more, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to attach them and talk you through the process on actually creating this cute little puppy. Okay, again, I highly recommend whatever knitting machine you have, mark your first stitch. It just helps you. It's a visual that just helps you gauge where you are on your projects. All right, front and back, front and back, front and back. And then here we go. Clip that in there. Stammer through it as it fights, and then here we go. Okay, we're up for the 20. Oh, yummy fish sticks. Oh my goodness, I haven't had those in so long. Oh, wow. That brings me back. Yeah, I love dumplings. Okay, halfway through this one. The yarn just rolled over by Fritzy's bed and scared him. 17, 18, 19, and 20. You guys know I have to do my doot-to-doots. All right, we're going to snip this off. I went a little bit far, so I'm going to pull that back. Yeah, I can't remember when I had fish sticks. I think my daughter was young last time I had them. Okay. That's a little tight, but I'm going to slide that in there. Pull this. Pop this off. Okay. Scoop it off. Like I said, once you get about 4 on there, then it gets loose enough where you can just scoop like this. And each one of these sections should definitely take you right around 2 minutes. All righty. Finishing up. There we go. They look too short, but then you get to pull them. Hi, Melissa. So there we go. That's all right, Melissa. I had some technical difficulties in the beginning, so I messed up a little bit, but that's all right. The pleasures of going live, right? Okay. So here we have these. Now you're going to get to where you have 10 of them. Okay. Sorry, my daughter just texted me. Okay, so I'm going to go, if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera back up. I'm trying to think. Maybe I should do one more. Let me do one more. You know why? Because I want to show you how to do the pairs for the ears and the feet, and then I want to show you how to do the body part. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more as I roll over my yarn. Wait, here we go. Find it. There it is. All right. Back to 0. And they're so quick to do them. I mean, it really... Okay. Lock it in there. Another thing, be careful with this gauge. I noticed it was turning hard a couple of times, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? It turned out that the yarn itself slid over to here a little bit and got pinched. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me to turn the wheel. And you'll notice when anything interrupts the flow of the yarn, this machine will definitely tell you. Yeah, it really does work fast. And some people even, they'll use like a drill or a, what the heck did I do here? Check it out. I pulled up some extra yarn. They'll use an attachment that goes on a drill or an electric power tool. I tried that with my Addi and I didn't like it. it actually burned a hole in the plastic because the friction, it got too hot. So you know what, especially for this little one, I mean, it really takes nothing to turn it. So it really, I mean, if you're in that much of a hurry, buy a sweater. Sorry. I do crack me up. All right. And here we go. 19, one more. 20. All right. So there's that. One last time around here. Okay. I'm trying not to break out into that song, and it is bouncing around my head. I can't. I do like the song, but not 400 times in my ear. Okay, so again, I'm going to hold that down and pull it a little bit, and then I can scoop up a few at a time. Fritzy, what are you doing? He's pouting because Mom went away today without him. So he's ignoring me. Yeah, you can feel the machine, right? And if it pulls too hard, if it pulls too hard, you know something's wrong, right? I mean, sure, it's great to whip out a scarf in 4 minutes, but at the expense of the $100 machine, you know? Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I know. I'm trying. I'm really trying, guys. If it bursts out of my face, I don't do it on purpose. Okay, so now you can actually see that these are starting to look like the sections of the dog. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. First, I'm going to move the purple yarn that did not work in the Addi. And that's a good lesson, to make sure you test the yarn you're going to use before you actually start a project. Sorry, guys, motion sick. Bear with me. There I am. Hello. Okay, this is better. So here, wow, it's warm in here, huh? Well, you don't know. You're not here. You guys are killing me. Okay, now, so you'll see these little sections, right? Super easy. So what I'm going to do is take some of the yarn, scrap yarn. Again, this is the reason why I pick up scrap yarn at like Salvation Army and any of the places that I can find them. They do it for like $1, 50 cents, whatever, because I like to use yarn as stuffing as well. So I just cut this right up the middle, get a nice chunk of it, and stuff this. This is how I did my other one. Okay. Ooh, it almost came out, guys. I just almost sang it. So yeah, the shape you want is almost like a small dinner roll, right? You want them a little oblong, and you want them stiff enough to hold up to its own weight. So go ahead and stuff it. Okay. It's fine if pieces fall out because, you know, it's scrap. Now at this point, pull the one end super tight. Okay. Don't tie it off yet. You're going to need it for other reasons, but tie it as tight as you can without tying it off. And then go ahead. And it's almost like if any of you have ever made sausage, this is what you got, a little section of sausage. Okay. So you're going to end up with 10 of these. So I'm going to set this one down. I'm going to stuff another one. And again, it's totally your choice what you want to use as stuffing. I rarely use the fiber fill. I find, especially when I'm crocheting or knitting something, because I find it always shows through. So it's going to be rare that I use it. So I'm going to pull off another section of this yarn. Here's another tip for you. As soon as I'm done with this. Okay. You can make the ears, see, because here's how he stands up. You can make the ears a little longer by pulling it a little longer, too. You can make the body longer. But what I did was one the exact same length, just like the clowns do when they're making them. Okay, so at least it's always been clowns making them for me. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pull this end as tight as possible and stuff that in there, and then pull this end, cinch it up, shape it up. And there we go. Okay. So that's 2. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cinch this end. And I'm going to stuff the 3rd one. It actually helps, too, that I'm using the scrap yarn because it's almost the shape I want it already. And I just slide it in there and move it around. Right? So, all right. So, stuff that in there. Pull it tight. Make sure it's the shape you want. Kind of keep it equal with the others. Also, another hint. Tight, tight, tight. Another hint is if it's not going to a kid, like say you're making it for your sister who's going to set it on her dresser or on her desk or whatever, you could actually use toilet paper rolls inside here to give it more sturdiness. So that will work. You're still going to stuff around the toilet paper roll so that you're not seeing it, but it would absolutely work. So here we go. And then I'll do the last one, and then I will show you how to tie them together. Okay. It almost came out again. Oh my goodness. You guys have no idea the struggle for not singing that song. It has taken a lot. Oh, it's a balloon dog. Do you think I was making link sausage? All right. We're going to stuff that in there. I'm glad you guys think so. Seriously, I had so much fun figuring out this pattern. It was really, really a good time. All right. So, tie that one, jiggle this one. Here we go. So, for the ears and for both sets of feet, okay? So here's the ears and both sets of feet. You're going to take 2 at a time, and you're going to tie them together at the top. Remember, you still haven't sewn them shut, okay? Link sausage. So you're going to just tie them together, just like this, okay? Again, there's no strict rule to it because you're going to be stitching them together later anyway, okay? So you're going to tie them together at the top, okay? And you're going to tie them together at the bottom. Because if you look at the balloon animal, this is how they look when they twist them. So you're going to make it look, and the cool thing is you can still see the yarn that you're using to tie these together because it looks like the balloon. Take care, Marianne. Thank you for stopping by. So here's how it's going to look when you do the ears and the feet. You're going to tie it tight. Sorry, I had to set it on the desk so that I could keep it tight. Okay. So that's what you're looking at. Now you can go ahead and trim off extra. Leave yourself some. Trim off the extra. I'll take it right there. Hey, how about I get scissors that cut? That would be nice. Okay. So you're going to have 3 sets of these. Okay. 6 of your sections are going to look like this. You're going to need them for the ears, for the front legs, and the back legs. The rest of your sections, you're just going to tie end to end. Super simple, right? Yeah. Yep. So just tie them end to end. Okay, like this. Again, still not tied completely tight. We're going to worry about that later. Does not matter for the project at all. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead. Here's a clue for 2 things. For the one that's going to be the nose and the one that's going to be the tail, leave an extra long string. Okay? Because you're going to need to crochet them into the nose and the tail. All right. So here we are. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections in a line. Okay, you're going to just have them in a line tied, tail tied end to end. Are you guys mad that I'm doing it this way? I can do the other sections if you want. We've been at it 40 minutes and I don't want to make you guys crazy. So let me know if this is all right. If not, I will go ahead and make the other sections, or I will make them and do a whole tutorial on it later. This is just fun for us to have a crochet along, or a craft along. Okay. So here I am. I'm going to tuck these in. You can't see it. Okay. Here's my ears. All right. So you're going to take, for right now, this is going to be the head and the neck. So here's the nose, and here's the neck. You're going to take the ears, and you're going to slide them on. Okay. Boom. There we go. Okay. We've got the nose, the ears, and the neck. All right. So that's going to be one pair of it. Okay. So you can see it. All right. And then here we've got the neck and the body, right? Okay. Neck and the body. Here's the legs. You're going to slide the legs down same way. Now, there we go. There's the neck, and here's the legs, and here's the body. That, I actually surprised myself with that, Kathy. I was like, wait, just slide it on. So it makes it easier and it helps it stay better, you know? So here it is. And like I said, you can stick them tighter. I'll tell you, you want to hear a secret? I wasn't sure I was going to tell you guys this, but I want to tell you. For my first one, I couldn't get his neck to stay up like I wanted it to. All right, I'll do the tutorial after. I put a crafting stick in there. So that holds up. I put a crafting stick right up straight through, so that holds his neck up. So you can do that as well. Put one through here, and it would hold there, right? But the yellow one, I didn't do that. I wanted him to be a little floppy. But yeah, this little guy, he was the first one, so he's my prototype. You can actually see it right there. There's the stick right there. So yeah, so he stands up much better than the yellow guy does. But so yeah, super simple, right? I mean, it took me a minute, but once you start getting it. So what you're going to do now that you've got it all slid on here and you're like, okay, now what? What the heck am I doing? Okay. Again, you don't care if you see this because it looks, when you're done, it's going to look like the balloon that's twisted. So, okay. So we're going to go with, these are the legs. So here's the neck, here's the body, and these two are the legs. Well, thank you. So what you're going to do, and like I said, I'll do this in the tutorial, you're going to take the yarn that you've left over. First thing I did was wrap it a few times, again, because I want it to look like it's a balloon. And then I take the needle and another reason why I use the same color yarn, because you can lose it in there. Okay. Here's the neck. Yeah, let's do it the ears because that looks like the nose. There we go. All right. So we're sewing the ears on because I want to show you this part with the nose. So you're going to take the yarn that you have here. This is why I said to leave so much of it. Well, thank you. Like I said, it's really not a tutorial so much. It's just kind of showing you guys how I did it, and then I'll do a tutorial. So I just take the extra yarn, and you're not going to see it. So you can be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Mechanical or whatever as you want, because you just want to get it to sit up like an animal, right? Nobody's going to see it, and you're going to take the extra yarn and you're going to wrap it around to make it look like the wrapped balloon anyway. So the more you put little stitches and hold it, I have a new baby in my daughter's house. I have my new grandbaby. He will be 3 months old in 3 days. So here we go. I'm going to put another stitch. And again, he's starting to take shape. He's starting to look like a little puppy. Through here, out through here. The fun thing about this project is all of your stitches and do-overs and, you know, pull-throughs, they all get hidden. And it looks great. So there you go. So here you go. You can see, here's the ears. Now, what am I going to do with this? On the top, I'm going to wrap it around so it looks like a piece of the balloon is tucked here. Let me show you. So I'm happy with how his head is held up. Very happy with it. Aw, that's awesome. Okay, so pull this nice and tight, and I'm going to go ahead. I don't like to thread the needle that often, so I do both pieces at once and put it in there. All right. And then you're just going to take the yarn and pull it through both openings and your hair, apparently, and wrap it around like this. That's awesome. I am so enjoying my grandson and even his stages now at 3 months old. I can't even imagine when he starts actually talking to me. I'm gonna faint. Thank you. Crochet would be easy, actually. So I can show both. All right, I'm finishing up, tucking this over here, through here. And you will see that it does look like, let me tuck that in. It does look like the yarn is actually the twisted balloon, which I just think is so fun. And then you can hide, of course, you can hide the tails in here because you'll never see them again, which I absolutely love. And now you can see the top of the ears. That looks like a piece of the balloon. I'm missing something, dang it. All right, so now we got it. We've got the ears, we've got the nose, and we've got the neck. And you can take this and wrap it as much as you want or hide it as much as you want. So, see you later, Kathy. Have a great evening. All right, so let's talk about the nose. What I did was I crocheted a chain of about 10. And then you just circle it around and stick it on there. Let's watch. Here we go. Ooh. So you make the, I don't need it this long. Nobody needs it this long. All right, here we go. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Okay. Slip knot. Now you're crocheting toward the animal, which makes it a little awkward. But this is how I did it. Set it up there and just maneuver around, pull it through until you just can't do it anymore. Because what you're going to do, it's supposed to look like the part of the balloon that you blow into, because that's what they use for the nose, right? So once you get a few loops, pull the tail actually right through. I know, I sound crazy, I get it. Pull the tail actually right all the way through. And then you're just going to sew it on to look like that. So it's supposed to mimic the part of the balloon that you blow into. That was fun to figure out. Now, let me show you how I did the tail. There's this through here. Right? You want to pull it a little bit, but you don't want to make it too flat because you still want it to look like the little nose, right? There you go. And there's his little, just a little thing, looks like the part of the balloon that you tie the knot in. All right, so let's pretend this is the tail. And we're going to, what I actually did was I started by the animal and I worked out with the tail. And then in kind of like a picot. So you know how you do a picot, so you go back. So I did that. I'll show you. I show you. Okay. So I'm starting near the end of the animal. Sound like it's a real animal. Speaking of that, I got to tell you guys something when I'm done. You're not even going to believe it. So you crochet as many as you can. I mean, there's no science to it. Just do it as many as you can. Pull it all the way through. See how you have that? So what you want now, you want to try to make it stand up as much as possible. Right? So I just took it and I sewed it back into itself. I'm telling you, this was a so I just took it. What I normally do is I do the needle first because the thread's too thin. So there you go. You weave it back and forth inside the chain. Pull this in and pull it through itself. And it makes it a little bit sturdier, just a little bit. And then you can go ahead and sew it in. This one came a little too short, but the concept is, so you take it, you sew it right back in through itself, tuck it in, and there you go. So there it is. Long story short, that was fun. It was really fun. It challenged me to figure it out. And I really do. I think he's adorable. You could put a rattle inside so he jiggles when, he makes noise. You could put like crinkly stuff here and a rattle here and, anything. You could make it any kind of interactive toy. I just think it's really cute. So there we go. There he is in the spirit of Fritzy, his little nose. So what I'm going to do, what's his name? Well, I don't know. What should we name him? Well, he's yellow. Oh, Old Yeller. No, that's a sad movie. I cry at Old Yeller. So yeah, I know Old Yeller. See? Squeakers. Nice. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this one. Mustard. Spicy mustard. I could name him Poupon for Grey Poupon. Ah! You just wrote that. Karen, stop it right now. You and I said that at the same time. That is crazy. That is crazy. Anyway, you just blew my mind. What I'm going to do when I finish one, I'm going to actually go ahead and put a rattle in it and stuff like that. Karen, that's really funny. I can't. Not yet, Melissa. I haven't put it where Fritzy can find it. However, I did drop a huge ball of yarn and he wrapped it around the kitchen 3 times. I was like, okay, whatever. So quick story before I let you guys go. I was out in the garden. I could save this for tomorrow, but I'm out in the garden and all of a sudden the neighbor pulls up in his big old red truck and I'm like, what? No poop on. He hands me a baby rabbit. He's like, can you help this? I'm like, why are you handing me this? No, he hasn't. So anyway, he hands me this little hurt rabbit. Yeah, I'm going to put squeakers in the other one. Yeah, good idea. Anyway, he hands me this poor little baby rabbit. Teeny tiny thing. I tried to save him. It wasn't going to happen. I gave him water. I put him in the shade, but it didn't happen. But anyway, this one, Fritzy might like him, but. Oh my goodness. I have mustard and ketchup. Come on. Come on. I have mustard and ketchup. I didn't even realize I did that. There we go. Ketchup and mustard. Yeah, the poor little bunny. I tried to save him. I really did. I did. Yeah, I tried. I really did. I sat with him for about an hour. I had an eyedropper trying to give him some water, but his neck, he wasn't savable, but I did try. Oh my goodness, ketchup and mustard. I love it. Well, now I got to keep them together. So, Fritzy, what's the matter? All right, you guys. So, I hope you had fun. I hope I'm going to put out the tutorial. I will start from the beginning and put out the tutorial so that you can fast forward through my redos. I will pick the right yarn the first time for sure. And I did have a lot of response of people wanting the tutorial. So I will get that out. I might even work on it right now just to get it out so that everybody has it. So I hope you guys had a blast. Please think about what you would like to do. I didn't go to the post office yet, but I'm going tomorrow morning. Karen, I will do. I will go. Let me know what you'd like to do next week for a craft along. Yes, it will be easier to do the tutorial, so I won't be struggling so much. Oh, right. Lisa. Right. All right. How many are on here? There's 11 of you on here right now. So everybody, please pick a number between 1 and 11. I just want to make sure everybody. Here it is. Oh, Karen, Lisa already has 7. All right, so 1 and 10. Keep going. Keep going, everybody. There you go. 6. Good. Okay. Barb, that's a teeny little 5. What happened to that? Why did it go so little? All right, so let me see. Click that. Let me scroll through. We've got 7, 1, 8, 5, 6. 6 is great. Yep. All right, well, we have 11 people on 7, 1, 8, 5, and we only have 5 numbers. So I just want to make sure everybody that wants 3. Okay, good. Anybody else? So it's this Centro. It is a knitting machine. I believe it's a 40 needle. So 5. Okay. Oh, I think, Melissa, I think someone else has a 5. I think Barb has a 5. Can you pick another one? Let's see. So far, 7, 1, 8, 5, 6, 3. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, you know who, pick the number, the closest one to the number without going over. Okay. You don't see. Okay. There's a little teeny tiny 5 for Barb. I don't know why it got so tiny. All right. How are we doing? We're good. Okay. You ready? So what I'm going to do is, I can actually do between 1 and 10 because nobody picked higher. Let me see. 1, 8. Oh, take off 1. Okay. Okay, closest without going over. You ready? Good luck, everybody. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 10.
A random number is 8.
Number 8. Number 8. Karen. Nope, hold on. Sugar Diamond. Sugar Diamond had the 8. So make sure I have your mailing address. I think I do, but just in case, my email will be in the description. So make sure you give me all your contact information, and I will make sure I get that out to you. And I think if I can get a hold of another one, I'll do a smaller one as well another time. But so you're welcome. Just make sure I have all of your contact information so that I can get it out to you as soon as possible, because I am going to the post office tomorrow. Because I believe there is some fun Happy Mail for me there. So here's my K Fortune. Nope, that's not it. Full Fortune Knit. There you go. There's my email. So just make sure I have your mailing address so I can get that out to you. All right, everybody, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. Congratulations. Okay, I will do that. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to put up the tutorial. If I don't get it finished tonight, I'll do it in the morning. And everybody have a great night. See you for coffee with Kim in the morning. Bye, guys. Remember, be happy, be kind, and always be creative. Bye, guys. Karen.